Okay. Assalamualaikum everyone. My name is Farida and today we're going to get started on our Moon and Mosque craft for Ramadan. And you can use it as a decorative in your home, or you can do it something fun with your kids, just to have them in the spirit of Ramadan as well. So for our supplies today, we're going to need a cardboard box. And you can use any regular cardboard box. Anyone from your patterns, like I'm using this one for the stickers. And I just sort of cut it out into a square. So you're gonna also need the cutter, the glue gun of course, some wool in 2 different colors, or you can also use yarn, yeah, and a compass.
Okay, first things first is to grab your plain pattern. Once you grab that, then you use your compass to draw a huge circle. So I used a longer pencil because it helps to make the circle as big as you can. For this particular craft, you need a circle that's big enough such that when you're doing your crescent, it looks like a huge piece. But you can always make it smaller depending on how you want it to be. But today I'm making a huge circle. So once I finish making that circle over there, then I'm just fiddling over there. I'm trying to make the circle as clear as possible so it's easy for me to cut. And then once I'm done with that, I place my pointer in another angle and I draw my crescent moon. So I draw a smaller circle inside just to make the shape of a different, just to make the shape of the crescent. And then once I'm done, I start cutting. So right now I'm using a cutter to cut out the shape that I've drawn. You also want to be careful with the cutter. So if you're making this craft with your kids, I suggest that the parents do the cutting because the cutter can be a bit sharp and it might take a while for you to cut out the shape well, depending on how thick your pattern is. He prayed that his ummah would find success. O mountains of Mecca, how will it feel when the earth shall quake and tremble with fear, and we shall be gathered together to stand in the court of Allah. Okay, the next step is to add your wool. And to add your wool, you're going to start from one end of the crescent moon and take the end piece of the wool and sort of start placing it on that end of your crescent moon. And then you're going to use a glue gun to secure that to make sure that it stays in place as you keep taking it around the crescent moon. Mountains of Mecca bear witness that to the oneness of Allah do I testify. For all that He's given me, how can I deny? And then once you're done with that color, you're going to start with the next color and do the same process by using the glue gun to make sure that it sticks in place as often as you can, but not too much so that it's not too, the glue doesn't show around the crescent moon. Okay, so we're just going to keep filling up the crescent moon with the wool. And I'm using 2 different colors here. So I'm using the brown and I'm also using the gray. And I'm going to keep filling it up like that, alternating the colors. If you're using 2 colors, it's important that whatever you start with, like whatever color you start with, you end with the same color. So I'm starting with the brown, which means that I should end with the brown, just so that it has a better, the outline looks nicer and cleaner, right? But obviously if you want to use different colors, you can go with whatever pattern you'd like as well.
mountains of Mecca, what can you say of the day that Abraham?
Also, while you're adding your roll, make sure that you're using your glue gun to secure it in place. However, it's important to note that you shouldn't put too much glue gun on it, otherwise you're just going to have, it's going to look like a mess. Like if you have too much glue gun, just make sure that as you're rolling it onto that crescent, you put glue gun at certain points just to make sure that it stays, but not like on every line.
What can you tell of the day that stones from the sky fell, destroying an army determined to break the house of Allah that Abraham built? Oh, mountains of Mecca, how was the dawn on the day that my prophet Muhammad was born? How did it feel knowing he was to be the last and most beloved of all? Rasul of Allah, Nabi of Allah. Oh, mountains of Mecca, you were there when the Prophet Muhammad climbed down in despair. Engraved in his heart were the words of his Lord to all of mankind. This was his call: La ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah. Oh, people, praise only Allah, glorify Allah.
Okay, here I was really struggling to put my wool together and sort of make it stay in place. So you can just see me trying to make sure that that final end is good.
How did you mourn on the day that the beloved returned to his Lord, and up till the last breath escaped from his lips?
Okay, mashallah, this is how your persimmon should look like at the end of step 2. So pretty.
Now, the next step is to print out your mosque template. You can also freestyle this. Once you print it out, then you cut it up and you place it on a cardboard and draw the outline on there. So I'm just using the remainder of the pieces that I had from before. Once I finish drawing that template on there, I just use my cutter to cut it up into the shape.
In the court of Allah with our deeds at hand. Oh, how we pray that on that day we'll be with those to whom Allah will say, peace be with you, I am pleased with you. Oh, mountains of Mecca, bear witness that
Okay, so the next step is to paint your mosque, and you can always paint it with any color that you'd like. But for this one, I'm just painting it gray. Not because gray is my favorite color, but because I just find that gray just goes better on carton or like cardboard boxes.
there is no God but Allah. Muhammad is his messenger. La ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah. There is no God but Allah. Muhammad is his messenger.
Now that I've finished painting, I'm just doing some final touches to this craft, and I'm trying to find a good spot to place the mosque. Once you do that, then just attach your mosque with a glue gun. Make sure that you put enough glue so that the mosque is well attached. Okay, so for our final step, I'm going to add these magnets to the back of this, and I will be using a glue gun to attach it to it. Okay, so I'm just gonna show you how I decorated this piece. I basically just used a gold thread to make a star outline on the crescent moon, and then I folded two small pieces of paper and I put one up there on the dome, and I also put another one by the tower of the mosque. And then I'm using a gold highlighter to highlight the place that I glued paper on, just to accentuate the outline of the mosque and make it look a little bit more pretty. But yeah, that's how I made mine.
Oh, mountains of Mecca, what can you tell of the day that stones from the sky fell, destroying an army determined to break the house of Allah that Abraham built?
Okay, so here's our final look, guys. Mashallah, it looks so pretty. You can place it in your workspace. This is me placing it on a whiteboard. You can also place it on your front door, and you can also place it in your fridge at home. Mashallah, it looks so pretty.
Nabi